From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 7, streaming now.
As we await Pfizer and Moderna's FDA approval for a COVID-19 vaccine, many people are wondering if they'll be required to get one. Thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. Aaron Williamson represents employees in these kinds of litigations. He says industry standards is for employers to educate but not require vaccines. But companies can still mandate if they want to. But they do so with the potential for lawsuits. Employees can sue and opt out of receiving the vaccine for several reasons.
If the employee is asking for an accommodation under the Americans with Disabilities Act, or if they're making a religious accommodation request, if there's a medical concern that they don't feel safe with it, those are accommodations on an individual level that they would want to evaluate and make sure that they have a policy and a process in place at the outset to address those things.
The CDC estimates that when companies have a mandatory vaccination policy, 85% of employees participate. But without one, participation tends to fall to 43%. So employers, especially if they are concerned about their busy season being during flu season, they might want to mandate it to maintain their employee base. Here are the very latest numbers tonight from the State Health Department. An additional 5,835 Hoosiers have been diagnosed with COVID-19. 98 more Hoosiers died with COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths to 6,207. Since March, more than 398,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. More than 4.7 million tests have been administered in Indiana.
All over the country, things are dire right now. Tuesday, the U.S. saw a record 213,000 new COVID-19 cases. But relief in the form of a vaccine could be just days away with that big FDA meeting scheduled for tomorrow. That's when an FDA advisory committee will meet to discuss whether Pfizer's vaccine should be given emergency use authorization.
Within 24 hours of that approval, we will begin moving the vaccines.
Officials say one of the biggest challenges moving forward will be getting Americans to trust the vaccine. They are stressing that just because this process has been faster than usual does not mean the vaccine is any less safe. Local animal shelters and care organizations are feeling the impacts of the pandemic, and they need your help. Leaders at Indianapolis Animal Care Services say they are getting close to capacity. They tell us that this is typically a busy time of year for adoptions as people look to add a pet to their family around the holidays. But this year is much slower. In order to keep everyone safe, they split their staff in half and have them work opposite days. That also means fewer people are in the building at once, so they're not able to care for as many animals as they usually would.
Finding that good balance between how we can continue operating and getting adopters, as we don't want to, expose the public or expose our staff to any potential diseases. It's been tough finding that balance, and it's always a work in progress.
IACS is offering free adoptions right now. They also have a Cuddle Before You Commit program, which lets you take a pet home for 2 weeks to see if they're a good fit before adopting. We do have more information about that and information on resources if you're having trouble caring for your pet, posted on our website at WRTV.com.
The countdown to Christmas is on, and businesses in central Indiana are counting on this holiday season to make up for losses brought on by the pandemic. Our Cameron Riddle takes us to Fountain Square, where a business owner is asking you to spend your money in the community.
As Christmas 2020 approaches, small business owners like Mike Angel are hoping customers make an effort to shop local.
It's always been important for people to shop local, but this year, obviously, with COVID-19, it's more important than ever.
Angel and his business partner, Patrick Birch, own Square Cat Vinyl, a record store, coffee shop, and event venue, along with a neighboring new flower shop slated to open this week. Angel says his Fountain Square businesses are just two of many hanging on by a thread, thanks to the pandemic.
COVID has dropped our sales at least 60% from this time last year.
The inside of Square Cat Vinyl has been off limits to customers since the start of the pandemic. That means no sales from coffee, no live events, and their record sales have been limited to online only, since customers usually have to get hands-on with their inventory while searching for the right records. The store's extensive music collection is now the main source of income.
Oh, we got a little bit of everything. We got rock and roll, hip hop, soul, funk, R&B, classical, hidden somewhere in there.
With Christmas less than a month away, Angel is hoping sales on the store's website will carry their business through winter, which, even without a pandemic, is the slow season for restaurants and retailers. His request is that you consider a local spot, whether you're holiday shopping online or in person.
Well, that would ensure that we stay alive a little bit longer at least. I think right now everyone is just, the game plan is to make it to spring. You know, obviously it's going to be warmer, more people are going to be outside, and hopefully we're closer to a vaccine and closer to consumer confidence being up.
Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
All of Square Cat Vinyl's records are available for sale online at squarecatvinyl.com. You can also find a list of local stores that are great options for holiday gifts. That's in the We're Open Indie section of WRTV.com.
It's time for your Storm Team forecast, and we had a little bit of a break from the chilly weather today as we enjoyed some warmer temperatures. How long will that last? Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory with the forecast tonight. Hey, Kevin.
Go ahead and relax, Mark. We'll be on break tomorrow and Friday as far as those temperatures are concerned. You realize we were 15 degrees above where we were yesterday, so that's a big jump. 45 in Indy right now. We've cooled down from our afternoon high. It's in the 30s in Kokomo. The fact that the sky's clear, the wind will calm down and set the stage for the coldest air to filter to ground level. Will be in the 20s in the morning. We may see a little light patchy fog develop overnight with the ground relatively warm. Shouldn't be too worried about that, but anytime temperatures drop into the upper 20s and low 30s with some fog, you got to watch out for some freezing fog. We make some progress. Temperature jumps to 57 for the afternoon high tomorrow with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. The record high set back in the early 70s, 66. That sunshine will disappear as we get to Friday, but we'll talk about what's still in the forecast to end the work week and begin the weekend coming up.
Now just ahead on WRTV News at 7, making sure everyone who is serving time for a crime indeed committed that crime. The new unit in Marion County that will take a closer look at convictions. Next. A new effort is starting in Marion County to recognize and remedy wrongful convictions. This week, prosecutor Ryan Mears announced the creation of a wrongful conviction integrity unit within his office. The group will focus on finding and fixing cases where someone was convicted for a crime they did not commit. WRTV's Cornelius Hawker learned more about the reasons for creating this unit and what they hope to achieve.
I talked to Prosecutor Mears about this new conviction integrity unit, and he explained to me why it was created.
The more we looked into it, the more we realized that it is incredibly important that every conviction that comes out of Marion County, not only today, but in the future, is based on the facts. But also looking backwards, it's incredibly important that those convictions as well were only based on the facts and not anything else.
You always hear every so often stories about people being exonerated years and years after they were convicted of murdering someone because of DNA technology. In your professional opinion, how many cases are out there, or is it just too hard to estimate cases like that?
Yeah, I think it's too hard to estimate, but I think the good thing about it is because we do preserve most of our evidence in murder cases, now we're going to be able to know, and we're going to be able to eliminate that doubt for some people, or we're also going to be able to say, hey, maybe we did get this wrong. And I think that's really the benefit of this program, is saying science has made tremendous advances, not only on the issue of DNA, but also on the issue of fingerprints, touch DNA, things that didn't exist 20, 30, 40 years ago.
And what do you say to someone who sees this and believes either themselves or someone in their family may benefit from this program? How do they reach out to your office?
So beginning January 1st, there's actually just going to be a form on our webpage in which it's going to provide individuals with information that they can fill out, and then that will begin the process of us looking into the conviction.
This program only applies to cases and convictions that happened in Marion County. And if you'd like to see the full conversation between the prosecutor and I, you can go to the story that's in our app and on our website. Amanda?
Along with reviewing cases, the Conviction Integrity will train prosecutors and investigators on ways they can avoid future wrongful convictions. This will be the first program of its kind in our state. Kevin.
We're dry and clear now. That won't last through the weekend, though. We'll time out the rain for Saturday and how much we may expect coming up.
Well, there has been good news in the search for a coronavirus vaccine. There's also some worry among pregnant women. That's because they were not included in clinical trials, and now they are wondering if the vaccine will be safe for them and their unborn children. Amber Strong with our partners at Newsy takes a look.
It's been some journey for all of us. It's been an incredible success.
Operation Warp Speed helped develop COVID vaccines, but the trials left pregnant women out. None of the leading vaccine candidates included pregnant women in their clinical trials, which is actually pretty common but concerning, considering earlier studies that showed pregnant women with COVID-19 were more likely to end up in the ICU than non-pregnant women.
I never thought it would happen to me.
Jennifer Rodriguez was one of the lucky ones. Her case of COVID-19 during pregnancy was mild, but her story highlights fears of pregnant women or would-be moms, particularly those working on the front lines, where according to the U.S. Census, women make up 3/4 of all full-time healthcare workers. And data from the CDC shows 79% of healthcare workers who contracted COVID-19 were female. So should pregnant women on the front lines get the vaccine? In a statement to Newsy, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists said there isn't a simple answer.
It is reasonable for them to have that serious conversation with their doctor about it, but it's not going to be something that there can be a blanket recommendation right now. It really has to be an individualized discussion about risks and benefits.
The vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna may be safer for pregnant women since they use mRNA and not a live virus like other vaccines. When asked by Newsy, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar didn't offer clear advice.
I'm going to leave that to FDA and its advisory committee as they've been reviewing the data. I don't want to make any speculations there.
We reached out to both Pfizer and Moderna. Pfizer says they're taking all the steps to determine when and if clinical trials can begin. Moderna didn't reply. Amber Strong, Newsy.
A lot of disappointed college football fans in Indiana tonight. The Old Oak and Bucket game is canceled. It won't be played Saturday as the Indiana and Purdue football programs deal with COVID-19 cases. The athletic directors at both schools released a joint statement saying they were disappointed they had to cancel the rivalry game that has been played every year since 1919. If you need something to look forward to before the end of 2020, here's something interesting. The two largest planets in our solar system are getting closer than they've been since the Middle Ages. On the night of the December 21st, which is the winter solstice, Jupiter and Saturn will appear so closely aligned in the sky that they look like a double planet. It's actually called a conjunction. And this will be one that's exceptionally rare. To see the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, look low in the western sky for about an hour after sunset each evening between December 16th and Christmas. According to NASA, while the two planets may appear close, they are still hundreds of millions of miles apart. Clear skies and binoculars or a telescope will help. So that turns us over to you, Kevin, to make sure we've got the conditions for that, right?
Yeah, and if you just step outside right now, Jupiter and Saturn are visible together in the southwestern sky for about the next hour. Then they'll set. They'll get too low on the horizon to be able to be seen. But tonight's spectacular for that because the skies are clear. Now, when you come home in the evening, this is a spectacular way to do it. James Duncan sharing this picture with us. I love kind of the archway that you pull into the driveway. Look at the garage door. He's got it all covered. We've been sharing some holiday lights with you here during the 7 o'clock news and have a photo contest going on at WRTV.com. James entered. You can too. If you happen to win, you'll get tickets to the Christmas Nights of Lights out at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. That's kind of one of the tunnels that you see there that you would drive through to see some 2 million lights. Well, we saw temperatures in the 50s today. That was nice. One other spectacular thing, there's a chance you could see, not a great chance, but if there's any chance, I want to mention it. Tonight, tomorrow night, there's a slight chance you could see the northern lights. The better chance will come as we get to the Michigan-Indiana state line and north. But you never say never. Mild temperatures through Saturday, then it becomes wet and much colder after we get past Saturday. Sunday, temperatures will be in the 30s. Temperature right now down to 41 in Fishers. These will fall quickly. Remember, we were at 55 during the afternoon hours. The warm temperatures sit to the southwest from Des Moines to St. Louis to Evansville southwest, and they will return. Although tomorrow morning is quite cool, we'll recover, and notice the low temperatures for Friday and Saturday. Temperatures push the mid-40s. That's the warmest temperature on Saturday morning. Tomorrow with a clear sky, could see some patchy fog due to the light wind as well. Sunshine to the rescue. 57 the high. The record 66. That was set back in 1971. There are temperatures as we go into the weekend. A big change, a shocking change. By Sunday, we'll be at 39. I want to put this in motion. The storm system that brings us rain on Saturday just becomes visible late Thursday and Friday, and then you see it pinwheel its way into the Midwest. That will bring with it not just rain, but the colder air. Temperatures out ahead of that will be in the 50s, as you can see, well into the 50s for the next couple of days. The Friday forecast includes a lot more cloud cover as the storm system moves our way, but we'll stay dry out ahead of it until overnight Friday and into Saturday. Saturday, wet, windy, 55. 39 on Sunday. May see half an inch of rain or a little more. 7-day forecast. Temperatures early next week remain below average. That's right on through the middle of next week. Aside from Saturday's wet day, we're dry the rest of the 7-day forecast. Beyond the 7-day, we may well go back to above average temperatures once again. We'll be back with more news right after this.
Well, you still have time to donate to the 20th annual WRTV Toy Drive. You can drop off new unwrapped toys at 17 U-Store locations through Friday, or make a monetary donation from your phone. You can also donate at the Indy Fuel Home Opener this Friday. Go to WRTV.com/Toy Drive for more information. McDonald's Happy Meals could be getting a bit less happy. The fast food chain is scrapping a decades-old deal with its franchisees, subsidizing the price of Happy Meal toys. Starting in 2021, McDonald's will stop issuing the roughly $300 monthly contribution to its U.S. restaurants. The contribution is called the Happy Meal Rent and Service Fee. The chain said the subsidy isn't fueling growth in the way it used to. Franchisees will then be able to increase the price of a Happy Meal by 20 cents to offset the difference. McDonald's said it is finding ways to provide other subsidies.
It's Baskin-Robbins' 75th birthday. In honor of the event, the ice cream chain is giving away some really great prizes. You could win free ice cream for a year, or the grand prize, free ice cream for life.
I love that.
Right?
Yes.
I know. For your chance to win, follow Baskin-Robbins on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Then post about a favorite memory you have at Baskin-Robbins. You have to be at least 16 years old and a legal resident of the U.S. The sweepstakes ends Friday. It just gives me so many memories of their bubblegum ice cream.
Makes me ready for dessert.
Google is out with its annual year-in search list. It features the year's top trending searches. Google says global queries, including the word why, such as why is toilet paper sold out, were searched more than in any year before, unsurprisingly. Election results and coronavirus topped the U.S. trending searches list. Searches for Zoom, actors Naya Rivera and Chadwick Boseman, and PlayStation 5 were also among the top 10.
I can see that. A puppy's brush with death after being caught in an alligator's mouth has given him a new job. Gunner is now a deputy dog with the Lee County, Florida Sheriff's Office. We first told you about Gunner in October. Video showed his owner, Richard Wilbanks, wrestling with the alligator to free Gunner from its strong jaws. Wilbanks had been on a walk with his wife and Gunner when the gator thought it was getting a free lunch. Well, the county sheriff says this Cavalier King Charles Spaniel deserves his new gold shield. He says Gunner's survival instinct makes him a perfect candidate for his Pets on Patrol program.
Do you swear to uphold the constitutional law for the Lee County Sheriff's Office, Gunner? Okay, this is a big day. You're going to be a detective now, okay? Okay, here we go.
He's cute, huh? The Deputy Dogs program encourages pet owners to be on the lookout for suspicious activity while out with their animals.
My heart. Oh, my goodness.
Hey guys, I think I'm on. How are you?
You got it.
I know the game's been canceled for this weekend, but I got to keep the jacket on for a while. Rain on Saturday. If they were playing the bucket game, it wouldn't have been that beautiful anyway.
Good to know. Thanks for joining us.
See you back here tonight at 11.